Hey there, I'm Ian Douglas. I'm the author of the website techinterview.guide, and I'm here to help people with career advancement and interview preparation. My live stream on Twitch covers topics such as company research, how to build resumes and cover letters, applying for the job, getting through interviews, and what to do during negotiations. I've coached thousands and thousands of people over the years to get jobs at the biggest tech companies in the industry, and I'm here to help you too. The following episode is taken from a longer live stream event and may contain interactions with other people in chat. Check out the end of the episode for more information. Let's get to it. All right, the first question that we're going to get into today was a student at the Turing School of Software Design, which used to be based in Denver, Colorado. Now they are a remote school. This particular student is someone that I've been helping as a mentor. And so I've kind of reworded their question a little bit and taken away some of the context of it. But the question was basically saying, I'm a student at Turing. I was asked to make yet another take-home assignment for another new company where I'm interviewing. I'm getting tired of building so many things that never go anywhere beyond the interview. What can I do? The advice that I gave this person that I was mentoring was, you don't have to go build a take-home assignment every single time you're assigned one. That is kind of the expectation. As a hiring manager, if I give you some sort of take-home work, I hope you're actually going to do the take-home assignment that I'm giving you. But you can certainly contact the company and ask a direct question to them and say, hey, I'm actively interviewing with a number of other companies. Here's some take-home assignments that I've recently done for other companies. Is there something additional above and beyond that you would like me specifically to go build new without having to go build an entire new project? In the case of this particular student, they were a back-end student at Turing, and the back-end program at Turing teaches Ruby on Rails. This particular student was given a take-home assignment of, you're applying for a full stack position, so we want to see if you can do a Rails application plus React as a front end. This particular student's like, oh, do I have to go build out like the whole Rails backend all over again? And my answer to them was no, just go find one of your existing Rails APIs and just add React on top of it. You already know what the backend does, so you don't have to go rebuild that. But you need to talk to the company first, because if they have a very specific sort of database schema that they want you to use, you may need to conform to that. Or what I recommended to them was contact the company and say, I have this current Rails API project that I've built. I'm going to go add React to it if that's okay, but I'm going to do it as a separate repo and not make like one big monolith repo with all of this stuff in it, or what we call a mono repo. And I'm going to have them as two separate things. So I'll have a front end and a back end, and I'll show you what I'm capable of doing. The other piece of advice that I gave them was, do you have to go be an expert in React in order to go build that? Or like, how much React do you have to learn to go adequately show the kind of skill that you have in React? Now, in this student's case, again, they're a back-end student. They hadn't studied front-end at all. They knew a tiny bit of JavaScript, but they had never built a React app before. So what I also recommended to them was, in that conversation that they had with the company over, here's some work that I've already done. Is it okay if I just add React to it? Would that be enough? Wait to get a yes or no from them. But in that same message, you could also say, I don't know React. I've never built anything with React before. I'm happy to show you what I'm capable of learning, but it's going to take a little bit of time, or I can just show you how much I can get done within a time window. So if you want it in 24 hours, I'll show you how much I can build in 24 hours. If you want to give me like 3 or 4 days, I'll show you how much I can learn and how much I can go implement within 3 or 4 days. But the key point there is, let them know that you're going to build on top of an existing project, that you're not going to go build this whole thing from scratch. But you want to make sure that they're okay with that. If they come back and say, well, we really had like a particular database schema in mind because we want to see how you would build out the database and things like that, you can have that conversation with them then. But I think if you frame the question from the mindset of, I'm already interviewing with a number of other companies, so I don't want to have to, like, you don't want to say this in the email, but you basically need to get the point across to them, like, I don't want to have to go build another entire project. How can I avoid that? So what you want to do is tell the company, hey, I'm actively interviewing. I'm really intrigued and I want to get into the interview process with your company. But for the sake of time, would you be willing to evaluate these other projects that I've built very recently for other interviews? Here are the links to my GitHub repos. Let me know if this is sufficient, or if you really do want me to build something new. But I would like to submit this as my effort around, like, this is what I've done recently. Companies are probably more open than you think around that sort of thing. They really just want to see, like, what can you do in a hurry, or what can you do under pressure? And if they know that you're already interviewing, but that you actually really care about them and that you're thinking about their priority from a standpoint of time investment, and you're also in that process, you're thinking about their time as well. Like, you don't have to sit and wait a week for me to go build this. Here's a bunch of stuff I've already done. If you're willing to evaluate that, then we can just move forward. We can get right into the interviews. So that would be my advice from that aspect, is you don't necessarily have to go build an entire new project. You can either build onto something you've already done, but you want to get their permission first. You want to make sure it's okay with them that you do that. You don't want to just bolt on, what you think you need and make assumptions. They may have something specific in mind. Or you can say, here's a bunch of existing projects that I've got. Is there something specific that I can add to one of these existing code bases that, you want to see me highlight as a skill? So that I don't have to build this whole thing from scratch. Is there something that I can just add to an existing project? The worst they'll say is no. The worst they'll do is they'll come back and say, no, we really want you to build this whole thing. And at that point, you need to evaluate, is that job worth that time investment? Like, if you are actively interviewing with other companies, is it worth spending another day, 2 days, 3 days, building out another take-home assignment? But that's up to you to decide at that point once they say no. But that would be a great way from a hiring manager's perspective to also speed up the process. And that might actually open my eyes a little bit as the hiring manager to say, hey, you know what? Maybe we don't have to ask everybody to build something from scratch. We can say, hey, if you've already got a project in this kind of code base, can you just go add authentication to it? Or can you just go add an authorization component? Like, once you get to this page, you have access to do one thing or not. Maybe there's like a specific skill that they want to see you demonstrate, as opposed to, I know how to do Rails new and like go build a whole new project. That may not be what they're looking for. So all you need to do is ask. Thanks for checking that out. I hope that you found it helpful. I always appreciate feedback, so please let me know what you think. I appreciate any subscriptions, so please tell your friends and colleagues about it as well. Check out the website techinterview.guide for more information about when I'm live streaming and all of my free content. Drop by a live stream anytime to ask questions or message me privately, whatever makes you most comfortable. See you next time.